is Carly and welcome to my channel where I play with inks, I write my novels and do lots of other fun stuff. Today is technically a new pen day, but we're basically going like straight to the ink menu. This is the special edition 2026 Jinhao 82. I think they call it Ice Lake Spirit, and I chose it with a silver trim. And it looks slightly different from the usual Jinhao 82s with the flat tops. So it has like a fun little design on the nib. Let's see if that focuses. And to explain, I have quite a few Jinhaos because when I write my novels, I don't really write them at my desk at home, but I take everything out and write in coffee shops. So I technically have outside pens and inside pens. And this is why I sort of have a set that always stays for my evening journals and pens that are not that expensive that I feel I can take outside without having a nervous breakdown over that. So yeah, this is why I have quite a few Jinhao 82s, I think, because they come in so many lovely colors. And for example, this is the Milk Tea, which is a nice pen. Actually, from all the, I have been really lucky with Jinhao nibs, but this nib is a bit dodgy. I need to smooth it a bit. But to come back to the Ice Lake Spirit, it has like a very subtle sparkle in the cap and the body. I've seen it on other people's channel, like more with the gold trim. And so I wanted to check out what it looks with the silver trim. And I don't think I have that many Jinhaos with the silver trim anyway. So yeah, that's why I went for it. But as soon as I saw this, I think it's on Pens with M's channel, I was intrigued. So I'm making an ink menu for this pen. I mean, technically, you probably say yes, either go pink or go blue. The thing is that I have a pink inked at the moment, and I know if I have two pinks, one of them is going to get neglected, and I actually want to finish the fill of the pink ink that I have at the moment. So I've been choosing 4 other inks. 2 of them, 3 of them I've never had in a pen before, and 2 of them I've never swatched, so that's going to be exciting. I'm going to use my glass dip pens at the end to do the swatchings, and then the tip to write out the names of the inks. I have some water and an ink rag, and I think that should be enough to get us started. So we're starting a bit darker. So this is Diamine Bilberry, and it's actually the only Diamine ink in the lineup, which is quite unusual for me. I got this recently, but I've already swatched it, and it's lovely. Because I was really curious about a purple, like a blue leaning purple, and it has like a coppery golden sheen. So the nib in the Jinhao is a fine, so I'm not quite sure whether that would work so well. I don't think the sheen is necessarily going to show up, for example. I'm swatching in a Hobonichi blank notebook that I've set up as my ink journal. Wow. Just the water just from It's just amazing. Okay, so this is Diamine Bilberry, and this glass tip pen has a very broad, not nib but tip. So at some point I might have to see whether I can get, like, you know, one of those small dominant industry muddlers that have a really fine tip. Then the next one is sort of a pink, greenish. It's Dream Ink Grows in the Yard. And I've had that in a pen once before. I have made quite good experience with sort of even the fine Jinhao nibs with shimmer. So this is the only shimmer ink on the menu. Yeah, you can see that's here. Just to agitate that, and it's usually quite a shimmer bomb to clean end of my pen a bit better, so I don't. Yeah, so I'm not, as I said, I have a pink ink at the moment, so I'm not sure that I'm going to go for this necessarily. But this is sort of a more of a greenish, pinkish color. It's Dream Ink Grows in the Yard. And now we're coming to the two inks that have just arrived. Actually, they arrived today. And the first one is a Schneider ink that I saw on book artist Mandy's channel. It's Schneider Apricot or Apricot. And it's such a cute little bottle. It's a 15 milliliter bottle. And I definitely want to get more of the Schneider line. And I wanted to try it because it looked like quite a light but a readable ink. And obviously I know with a fine nib that might not work so well, but I'm still hopeful. This Schneider Apricot. And then we have Jacobin Bleu Azur or Azur. I've recently tried to heal my relationship with blue, and yeah, so I've basically eyed Sailor Manu Haha for a while, but obviously the Sailor Manu inks are really expensive compared to the Jacques Abin inks. So I thought, why not get a 10 milliliter bottle of this one, which seems to be quite similar, and see if this is if something I would use with regularity. And this is how this came about. But wow, yes, this is exactly the blue that I was thinking of. Because often when you get into light blues, so for example, I tried Caveco Paradise Blue, but that is then more turquoisey, and it's not really what I wanted it to be. But I still love it, but it's not sort of, just didn't scratch this particular itch. So this is Urbain Bleu Azur. Okay. let's wait till those all are dry and then I'll come back. Okay, I've given it plenty of time to dry. The Abin Bleu Azure is still not quite dry, but let me lift up the page so you can see a bit better. I'm not quite sure whether I can bring out the golden sheen on the bilberry, but it definitely has some. It's lovely, but I don't think it... If I go for something that complements or matches or works with the color of the pen, I don't think that's it. Rose in the Yard works surprisingly well, I think, because the sort of the green swirly bits, the green haloing is actually picked up by the blue cap of the pen. Apricot, I don't think it works. It was a bit of an outlier, but because I hadn't swatched the ink before, I didn't really know what it looked like. So I think we're going to go with Bleu Azure. Let me quickly ink up the pen. So I've done sort of a half fill for now, just because in case it doesn't work, in case it's too light in the fine nib, I'm not wasting the ink. The nice thing with these little bottles, the 10mm bottles, is that actually they work quite well to fill your pen from. So let me see. So this is the... Ooh, okay. Ice Lake Spirit. I might have... This is quite, like, compared to the other Jinhao finds, this is quite a tight nib. So I might have been better off with a medium, but usually they loosen up after a while. That's inked with Abin Bleu Azure. It feels much more like when I got my first book nib. It was also fine, and I realized, ooh, that might have been a mistake. So yeah, so maybe it's just, it's not scratchy, it's just, it feels compared to, but now it's starting to work better. I like the ink in this. It's not too light, actually. Try this again. Ice Lake Spirit. And it's quite a well-flowing pen as well. It's always so funny, like the first time you use a pen properly. Like the feeling of a pen. I think we're probably going to have to get used to one another. But yeah, I still really like the ink in here. So yeah, this is my Jinhao 82 Special Edition Ice Lake Spirit in a fine nib, inked up with Jacobin Bleu Azure. Ooh, not sure. Okay. And yeah, color-wise, it matches really well. And let's see if I can sort of, yeah, make the nib work for me. I think when I write, I have quite a sort of a bit of a some pressure behind it. So usually the nibs loosen up quite quickly, and I actually have I like the Jinhao fine nibs, which is why I went with the fine with this one, because sometimes the mediums feel almost a bit too loose in a way. So fine and medium, and I have the medium fine in my sailor, are usually the only nibs I go for, because with a broad, because then my writing looks like basically like a puddle, as Karina loves to plan likes to say. Not because my writing is so small, but it's the way it's slanted, and I don't think I used to write with a broad nib, but I don't think it works for my kind of writing if I want to actually try and read it afterwards. But for now, I'm quite happy with what I have here. If I think I will try the rose in the art at some point, because I think it matches weirdly well. Had not expected this. I mean, yeah, it is. It's definitely the outlier. But yeah, we'll play with it. We'll get used to one another. I just love the colorway, really. And I think it's my second pink pen. I have a Jinhao 82, as again, like it's a pink pen, but otherwise, it's sort of a new colorway. And I'm really, really glad about getting for at least like a 10 milliliter bottle of this ink for now. And yeah, just taking the plunge and seeing if I can make it work for me. Because it's such a different blue from like your usual school blue. It's not just a school blue, but sort of thinner. So yeah, that's where we are at the moment. Thank you so much for joining me in my little pen adventure today. And then I'll see you soon. Thank you.